Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and at long last, we are here. We are here. This is season 4, episode 22 of back with more back with more reactions for Marvel's Agents of Shield. This is season 4, episode 22. This is it. This is the end. This is the end. Not the end of the show. Not the end of the show. Thank God. Still got a few more seasons to go for that. Which I really don't want to think about. But yeah, this is the end of season 4, the end of just easily one of the best seasons of this show, and even more easily one of the best seasons of TV that I have ever witnessed in my life. Some may call that an exaggeration, and you know what? To me, those people would either be people who have not fully been able to process this season, or people who haven't actually watched the show at all and think that it's not worth watching, which there are, within the Marvel fandom, there are rather unfortunately plenty of those kinds of people. But yeah, no, my God, I have no idea what's in store for me with this episode, with this finale, how everything's going to culminate, where everything's going to lead. You know, it's been a crazy ride so far, and I think this one, I think this also definitely feels like a part 2 to episode 21 too. Like 21 actually showed us like some sense of like a mixture of all the different kind of of all the 3 arcs that this season actually covered, with the ending, Ghost Rider returned, Robbie returned, Ghost Rider actually returned. Even amidst the destruction of the base exploding and everything, the portal, Ada's portal, still managed to stay intact, and intact enough for it to still form like a perfect portal and a perfect circle and everything. And he came in and he brandished his chains and everything, and he just walked off. So now, Ghost Rider is back. He's going to ally himself with Shield again, and then he's going to. I think he's definitely kind of seems to be. It definitely seems to be like it definitely seems like it's being built up that he is the key. He is the break that Coulson needs. That Coulson asked for, as someone so eloquently pointed out in the comments. So Ghost Rider is in. Shield has another superpowered ally yet again. An old friend back yet again, so that's cool. Ghost Rider is back. I just have to get that out of the way. Right, the rider has returned. So that's cool. We had the team kind of coming back to very, very slowly, very gradually, and all of them pretty much kind of having their memories intact and everything, and to the point where like May even actually managed to establish that it's not like it was just like another kind of world, or like another kind of like it's not like it was a dream of any kind. It's like it felt like they had legitimately lived like an entirely different life with entirely different circumstances and everything, which they kind of somewhat technically sort of had. So it felt legitimate and very thorough in that sense. So that kind of prevented them from moving forward in a way that they could all kind of move on, or all could kind of really deny what happened, or deny its legitimacy. But then none more so than Fitz, my boy, my poor boy, my poor little Scottish bean. He was broken. And the entire episode, he had been immediately kidnapped by Ophelia. Ophelia having new powers now. She having inhuman powers. All the powers that Hydra had collected in the framework had actually been implanted into her. So she had teleport to coordinate teleportation. She had Lincoln's electricity. She had, I think, some kind of healing factor too that I've not really seen too much of before. She had I think a few were kind of put on display in the last episode, and then she kind of went on like a killing spree and killed people. She killed Prince and Davis. Thank you to the person who pointed out Prince's name in the comments. Apparently, I think apparently like his name was actually only mentioned like a couple of times throughout the entire like 4th season too. So I think maybe that's why like it's maybe even actually mentioned episodes apart. So it's like they just kind of for whatever reason they just like don't expect you to remember it, or don't want you to remember it. But Prince, his name is Prince, the Agent Prince. He died first. He had his neck snapped by Ophelia, and then Davis stayed behind while Piper got Fitz out, and then he kind of tried to put as many bullets into Ophelia as he could. But then she regenerated and then went after him. So to be fair, we didn't actually see Davis die. So I think it's safe enough to go by that kind of character death trope, where it's like, if you don't see them die on screen, or if you don't see a body, then they're probably not dead. So I'm kind of veering on the side of caution. But then because she also killed Prince, then Prince, we saw him die clear as day. So because of that, I'm kind of thinking, and especially because Davis had to stay down there and stuff, I'm kind of veering on the side of caution there. But I'm not really sure what to think from that. But I think both of them are highly likely dead, and I think for the sake of stakes too, that they are both highly likely dead, but then Piper is the only survivor, and she fought and she got bits out of there and everything, so so there's that. But yeah, Ophelia went on a killing spree, and I think especially after that, I think everything was fine for her. Like, I think everything was mostly fine for her up until Fitz redeclared his love for Simmons again. Ophelia kind of, felt like, everything she had done, she fought tooth and claw to become human, to actually gain her own free agency and her own free will and her own choices, and to actually, feel loved and stuff. And she loved Fitz with all of her newfound heart and soul, and everything. So she was, to say the very least, she was most displeased. She was most displeased with the fact that Fitz, even after everything, he still loved Gemma. And I think with Fitz, the problem was that he loved her, but then after everything he did and after everything he remembered doing in the framework, he just couldn't see her loving him back and actually seeing him the same way again. So, so then Ophelia then had like her massive breakdown, which is easily one of the scariest fucking things I've seen in this show. Like again, Mallory Jansen just everything. But she had her breakdown and then she went on a killing spree and stuff, so that happened. And then, the Fitzsimmons angst, the angst. Fitz just kind of like him managing to hold it together until he actually came face to face with Gemma again. And even then, he couldn't look her in the face. He just broke down in her arms, and oh boy, there's just there is a lot of emotion in this that I don't think me way back when in 2019 I think it was actually going into the show. Like there was a lot of emotion in the show that I honestly don't think I actually could have prepared for. So this show is just something else. This show is really just something else. So yeah, all that stuff happened. And Talbot came back. Talbot made a grand re-entrance and everything, and he had brandished S.H.I.E.L.D. as terrorists once again, with Daisy's name being like under the actual kind of spotlight as her being kind of responsible for the damage, and also Ivanov having hacked Mace's body apart too, and then making it look like his bones had been quaked apart and everything. So then Talbot kind of pinned that on Daisy too. So Daisy just again being under the spotlight as a terrorist and as like an evil inhuman and everything. So that happened. Then Talbot has been cleared out and continued investigating the thing. So Talbot's back. So that, and then so then Elena went back into the framework. She discovered the real reason Matt kind of stayed in, that Hope was in there and she was his little girl and everything like that. So then she kind of opted to go in there herself and actually try and remind him and try and kind of convince him to come out and everything. So we have no idea how well that's going to go, because then the last thing we see is that I think presumably like the Triskelion kind of being under siege and under attack from the rest of the S.H.I.E.L.D. resistance, and then Elena being an Inhuman in the framework, she's immediately just kind of strapped to like a bed and everything, and she's in imminent danger. So fun stuff. But I the way this show goes, the finale is going to be an explosive one. So buckle up, tighten up your seatbelts, and get your snacks, and take any breaks you need to, and everything, because we're going to be here for a while. It's a season finale, so this one's going to take a while, like a lot longer than my videos usually do. So this time it's justified. This time the length is actually like a little bit more justified. But that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So on to episode 22 of season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Onto the reaction, and as you guys will know, this will just be the fair use version with the highlights and the best bits of the episode. But if you want the full length version, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. So yeah, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's go. Yeah, Robbie firing up the charger. Once again. There he is, Gabe Luna.
I performed lethal experiments on approximately 24 people, innocent people we've known from this world: Lincoln Campbell, Vijay Nadir, Gordon from the afterlife.
Fitz.
These, in my pockets, in the streets, I felt like a Pac-Man, gobbling up biscuits.
Oh, a trail of breadcrumbs.
Ada's shutting down the framework.
Oh, Ada's shutting it down.
This is what happens when you piss off your creator.
Damn, it's like Chuck just wiping everything out at the end of Supernatural.
To see a creature off.
Call me sweet one more time, and I'll rip the titanium spines out of all of you tin cans.
There's no need to call us names.
Why are you so upset?
You created us.
Oh, that theme. Oh shit.
come for that?
Yeah, oh, he's come for the dark code. He's come for the dark code. Is he gonna try and take that, like, back to hell or something? Is he gonna try and take it away? Ooh. Oh, he's got him. He's got him on the rope. They don't stand a chance.
You're not like those machines anymore.
No.
What have you done?
Oh my god. Oh, the rider's angry. The rider's angry. Oh, that title card's back. That title card's back. Oh, best intro. Best intro.
They were murdered by a vanishing banshee made of matter from another dimension.
You expect me to put that in my report?
The cybernetic hand have been to another planet. This stuff happens in S.H.I.E.L.D.
I've got a dozen intelligence agencies who now know that Mace wasn't an Inhuman.
Oh,
they know S.H.I.E.L.D. lied about it, and they're wondering what else you might have lied about.
Your lie,
Shield's
not
been
ours.
exposed.
Damn it,
Yeah.
Bill, you're missing the point.
Is that a good news face or a bad news face?
It's a weird
a
news
Daisy
face.
Johnson
Robbie
face. That's
Reyes
the
just
usual.
stole
It's
his
pretty as
charger out
hell.
of a S.H.I.E.L.D. impound garage outside of... What's new?
Nothing much.
Quake and Ryder reunited.
Beat up a couple dudes.
I didn't think I'd see you again. Not after you fell through that hellmouth.
I'm as surprised as you. Hell is relative.
Mephisto's realm. Yeah,
Space,
Mephisto's realm.
planets, it's all connected.
Yeah.
Plenty of them qualify as hell. The Earth is just one territory in a war that's been going on forever.
Can you beat Ada?
I don't know.
I'm Linda, but my friends call me Yo-Yo.
That's a funny name.
We need to leave now.
Oh, don't worry, Ada's making that happen. Ada is making sure that happens. Oh, Daisy's here!
Goodness, is Coulson with you?
Huh? Oh, did she make a Daisy LMD? Did she kind of have? Did she have another one of the LMD Daisies made?
There's still a pulse.
Wait, he was
Everybody
shot.
out,
Wasn't he
now.
shot in the head?
And get
There's
to
still a
medical help.
pulse. After he was shot in the head, I only just got that he was shot in the head too.
Seriously, therapy, just consider it.
Oh damn, that was quick. That was a quick one. Oh, Daisy and Robbie, Quake and Ghost Rider versus Ada.
That's all you got?
Only a pipe. That's it. She can vibrate you to Kingdom Come, and he can burn you to ash. And you come out with them with a pipe. Really? And he's got chains. Oh, nice, okay. Ooh, right in the chest. Oh, the eyes. Cybernetic eyes, right in the eyes. Oh, that transformation was so good!
You cannot stop me.
Never say you can't stop me, because the minute you do.
Gee, oh, this is so good, this team! I love everything about this. I love
Missed it,
everything
didn't we?
about this.
You two together and we missed it.
I caught
Come
it.
on,
I
we
saw
gotta
it talk. I saw it
Come
all.
on.
Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful.
It's the same tactic Ada used in the framework. Unite people in their fear of Inhumans.
Yeah.
But instead of a Cambridge incident.
It's me.
Oh, she'll be the girl.
I'll be the monster.
She'll be the girl.
She wants the same fascist state that she had in the framework.
Put them in like a containment room or something, because Robbie's thing can't be shut down. We saw that from the module.
We'll have to go back to base.
Robbie, Ghost Rider can't be affected by containment units.
I agree.
Oh, but then
More
again,
LMDs
Ada
are
has the
probably waiting for us.
electricity. God damn
Maybe.
it.
Look, I know you two still have a lot to work out. But right now, I need you on the same page. Okay?
I would never want to take this away from you, Mac. But I thought maybe if you looked into my eyes, you would remember us. The life we have. The love.
Oh god. The bridge is gone. Yep, the bridge is gone. Oh, and the bus is empty. The bus is empty. Oh god. Oh, but Hope's gonna disappear too. Hope's gonna.
Next.
Oh no.
You know, Robot May was way more supportive.
Is she what happened to the Hague?
Really? You want to have that talk
She's
now?
gonna figure it out. I mean, she already basically has figured it out.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should.
I imagine where you came from is a whole lot worse.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's hard to describe. The main thing is there, I'm just a passenger.
No, Ghost Rider's in
Ghost
charge.
Rider drives. By drives, I mean fights and kills. I'm here now. That's good.
It is good.
Very good.
Now, if we could get these two back, it'd be even better.
Of course. What do you think I am?
Ada. Oh no.
I think you're dead.
No.
Yes, I do. If he dies here, that means he dies in the real world, and I'll lose him forever.
Yeah, you lose.
And all for a little girl that isn't even real. She doesn't even exist.
Oh, don't tell me Hope heard that. Oh. Okay. Oh god, okay, that would be very, very traumatizing to hear.
There are lots of ways to express sadness and pain. There's
Besides
music
from killing.
and art.
And smashing heads on the floor. That's the one I like the best so far. There are too many feelings. Which is why I've decided to only feel one of them. Vengeance.
Vengeance.
hot
That's
and
Ghost
clean
Rider's
and
feeling.
sharp
Get your
like
own
a knife.
feeling. That's Ghost Rider's feeling.
And my vengeance.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Simmons! Simmons!
Beg me to let her live.
I drank the bottle.
Please let her live. I'm willing to beg. Please let her live.
But
Please.
when we get out of this mess, we take a couple of steps back, start again. Then, when it
Have a
feels
real
right,
kiss. Have a first real
we
kiss.
open another bottle.
Yeah.
Deal.
Deal.
Ships are being refurbished. Great.
Why do we feel better when we make someone else suffer?
It's called
There's
sadism.
something wrong with you, you psycho!
Stop, please.
Oh god, he is surprisingly calm during
So
all
it's
this.
Jenna now, trying to humanize her. I'm afraid you're gonna have to do better than that.
Oh, you can be Ophelia. You can be Ophelia.
I'm so sorry, Gemma.
What the fuck is going on? What's actually going on? Gemma! Gemma! What?
And there's nothing you can do.
Gemma? Gemma?
Do you really think you can stop me from taking the dark hole?
It's called teamwork.
Oh. Gemma? Oh, was she in LMD? She in LMD? Oh.
Your weapon can't stop me.
Oh my god.
I just really wanted to do that.
Gemma's alive. They wouldn't dare take Simmons from me. They wouldn't dare take Simmons from me.
But I'm pretty sure he can.
Coulson's Ghost Rider!
Good luck, sir.
Coulson is the Ghost Rider. Oh, this is something else. This finale is something else. This finale is something else entirely. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh. Oh, he did it. Coulson Rider did it. Ghost Coulson did it. I don't even know what to call him. He did it.
Everyone who cares about you is on the other side of that door.
The only person I care about is right here.
I don't want to die. I want to be real. Please, Daddy, don't leave.
No. And I love you, girl. I will always love you.
Oh, she's gone. Oh, she's gone.
Mac.
Mac? Mac? Please. Oh, Mac.
I'm just grateful Ghost Rider kept its part of the deal and went back to you.
You know why he made the deal in the first place, right?
I do, and I'd ask that you don't either. I will when it's time.
Why did he make the deal? What deal did he make?
I have to get this book someplace safe.
He's gonna take the dark hold back to hell. He's gonna take the dark hold back to hell.
Learned a few things since you saw me last.
Oh, has he now? Oh, can he open his own portal? Can he open his own portal? Oh, that is so cool. He can open his own Hellfire portal.
And trust me, it's going to take me years to process everything that happened in there. But the one thing that I don't need time
It's
to
not
understand
your fault.
is that we are all in this together. I tried to take the blame for everything. Not too long ago, I dyed my hair, I ran away. And you were the one who pulled me back in. This is not on you, okay? We all lost ourselves in there. And yeah, it might take you a long time to forgive yourself. But speaking on behalf of the team, you have nothing to apologize for.
If there's a price to pay, we pay it together.
You're a part of their family, Fitz. Family forgives you, no matter what happens. Even if there's nothing to forgive, but still, sentiment counts, yeah.
What is eternity without my beloved Agnes by my side?
Framework, him dies too.
This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a...
Oh god, that is so creepy. That is so ominous. Damn. That is so ominous. Just gone, just like that, without the dust. Oh, they actually went to a cafe. This is their shawarma. This is their shawarma.
This is the first time we've all been together in a really long time.
This is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shawarma scene. I love that.
Anybody have room for some pie?
Yes, please, some pie.
Okay, so we have apples, cream.
Do you have any power? Oh, they're here for S.H.I.E.L.D. They're here for S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh god damn it. Oh god damn it. Oh god.
Nice job. And hey, congrats on the whole power outage thing. It was very ominous.
Whoa.
The window closes in less than 2 minutes.
Whoa. Oh, they're frozen. Oh, he froze them. He froze them. What the hell? Oh, is he in prison now? Is he in prison? Whoa! He's in space! Is he in a space prison? Coulson's in a space prison?
Phil. Enough sightseeing. Get back to work.
Where are the others? Are they with him? Oh god, okay. God damn. That. My god, just. That was a finale. That was a finale. That was a finale. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that, but just putting it out there, that was a finale. Good god. So yeah, this review, like I said, is going to be a longer one, because this one is also just going to be like a review of the episode, but also then the season as a whole. And you know, I think the trouble with that is, I think it's as the episodes have gone by, like as certain episodes have gone by, like I've actually kind of picked up notes in my head that I've been like, oh, this would actually be a good kind of tidbit for the finale. Like this would actually be something good for the finale. But then, like coming here now, I'm not sure if I actually remember them all, or if I actually know exactly what all of them were. So I think I'm just kind of hoping for the best as I get to it. But yeah, this episode, just the ultimate culmination for all of the stuff that's gone down, and you know, the ultimate end to the Ada and the LMD and the Ghost Rider and the framework kind of arc and everything. Just the ultimate, like again, like I did definitely like a part 1 and part 2 with episode 20, 22, and 21, 22, but easily like the best conclusion and the best kind of finale and everything. And I think, especially like for how hectic and how packed this season has been, they wrapped this up in such a beautiful, concise, and energetic kind of way that I just really just couldn't help but love. And reminded me of just all the reasons I just kind of love this show to begin with. So yeah, I just couldn't contain. As you could see, I just couldn't contain myself. Like during a lot of it, I just couldn't contain myself, and it was just oh god, just so, just a lot of moments that just sweep you off your feet and blow you away, and then pull you back in, only to blow you away again. Like you get swept off your feet, and then Ghost Rider pulls you back in with his chain, and then Quake blasts you away. Like that is just the ultimate way to be blown away by a show like this. So yeah, so I think so Ada was shutting down the framework. I think I am kind of because I think I like throughout this episode and the last episode, especially after she came out of the framework and she was reborn in her human body again, human/inhuman kind of hybrid body. I was kind of I was not necessarily confused, but I was fairly kind of comfortable using Ophelia and Ada interchangeably somewhat, but I think I was still kind of mostly sticking with Ophelia and stuff. And it's like, it might seem weird, like, oh yeah, she's the villain, why are you expecting her? But then I just for some reason I just felt like, you know what, she still wants to be called Ophelia, and I'm just gonna go along with that line of thinking. So it just feels like it makes sense, and it feels right. So there was that. But then obviously you got Gemma on the other hand being like, nope, her name is Ada, and let's remember the A starts for artificial. So she was holding very many grudges against Ada, like all kinds of grudges against Ada, and she was more than comfortable actually putting those grudges on full display. So yeah, Ada, I think in the more villainous sense, I think Ada was the one actually doing all of this, and Ada was the one kind of controlling. I think Ophelia was kind of in her human body, actually trying to do some stuff with the LMDs and trying to run away from Ghost Rider the entire time. But then Ada, I believe in some sense Ada could have still lived in the framework as Ko. Like Ada could have actually been in the framework up until the end, actually acting as some kind of an antivirus, and then maybe like Ada herself or Ophelia herself actually turning the table so that then literally every last thing in the framework is then seen as a virus. So then Ada being the antivirus, she then has to shut everything down and delete everything and then shut everything down. So she was then Ada then kind of tasked herself with actually deleting the framework and shutting it down. So then that's why all the chaos was happening, and why Elena was found that way. So then goodbye to Ward, goodbye to Trip, and everyone. Because we didn't even see them at any point throughout the episode, I'm kind of trusting that they were just gone. Because I think we didn't even see Mac actually questioning where they were. Like Mac never even asked anyone, oh, where's Agent Trip or Agent Ward, or where are the rest of the main children? Burrows was still there. Burrows still showed up for one scene, and then that was it. But Ward and Trip, I think they must have ducked out early or been deleted early. So I think it didn't feel like I think maybe story-wise there was a bit of an order to things, but then I think generally speaking there didn't really seem like much of an order to the way that things were being deleted. It seemed like besides from the story, for tension's sake, things people start disappearing and things start disappearing and locations start disappearing, so then that kind of raises stakes there. But for the most part, it still just seemed like everything was being broken down bit by bit. Like first Hydra falls, and then the Triskelion falls, and then people, and then everything else just starts falling. So yeah. So it seems like everything had besides from story progression, didn't really have much of an order or kind of a sequence to it. Just oh, this is gone, mostly kind of randomized, but still enough to actually kind of scare people and scare the main characters as well. So yeah, but Ada was deleting the framework, and then that definitely put lives like Mac and Elena's under risk too, them two being literally the only things left in the framework that were actually still alive on the outside, and them two actually standing to lose something too. Just that definitely made things just all the more kind of emotional. So yeah. So then Elena spent the entire episode, or her entire time in the framework, actually fighting to working herself up to actually try and confront Matt, because I think she met Radcliffe first. Radcliffe came back to Hydra and he found her, and I think he found some kind of breadcrumb trail leading left by Daisy to leading her back to Yo-Yo and everything. So I think that might have been because she was on the outside. Maybe she was, and like along with actually keeping Mac and Elena's kind of code contained. Besides from the rest of it, she also actually did leave in that kind of trailer code, leading Radcliffe back to Elena. So he came, and then like Radcliffe was trying to warn her and warning her, but then also actually telling her that like he's already made up his mind, and you being him, like you might have a fighting chance, but then that fighting chance might not guarantee actual victory. So he was just kind of encouraging her to leave while she still could, actually save herself and everything. So yes, I mean. And then Elena met Hope. Elena met her, but I think seeing that kind of difference too, like everyone, like I think Daisy and Elena as well, like they are like willing to, I think Daisy didn't even know she that she was actually a real living person. Like I think Daisy definitely kind of took Hope to be like the more metaphorical kind of like the actual kind of state of mind, like Hope, like Max lost hope, he's hopeless now, and stuff like she never would have actually thought there was a daughter until she got into the framework and everything. So that's when she found out. But then Elena knew. Elena actually knew. So for her, it was actually different hearing the story about her having died too soon after her birth. And then versus actually going into the framework and actually meeting her face to face and actually meeting her framework counterpart and everything, and seeing how seeing how bright and positive and bubbly she was, and how accurately she matched how both how accurately she matched Daisy's description, but then also actually seems to transcend all of that in a world like this, like someone as positive and innocent and hopeful as Hope, living in like a fascist state and world like the framework. So yeah, so meeting her definitely kind of put different things into perspective for Elena, and then she kind of definitely kind of saw the physical embodiment of what was keeping Mac here as well. So there was that. And then of course came the scene where Elena was talking to Radcliffe, and she was just broken, and she just wanted Mac to come home, and then she actually started talking to him about how everything was shutting down, and hopefully she knew, and I think Radcliffe did kind of raise some fairly valid. Radcliffe raised valid things from what his perspective was. He didn't know the truth, or he didn't know the truth behind Mac and Elena's relationship. He didn't know how strong they really were. He didn't know how in love they really were. He just kind of knew that this man lost his daughter in the real world, and he has a chance to live with her here. And I think he saw firsthand exactly how Mac rejected the opportunity to actually to leave when he first had the chance. So he's kind of going off of that thing. But then with Elena, she knows that even if what Radcliffe says is true, then she runs the risk, then she either runs the risk of losing him forever within the framework, or losing him temporarily within the real world. Because in the real world, the way even in the real world, the way even that would go is that Mac would need time. He would need time and space, and then that would happen, and then he would likely eventually come back to. But then we see as from the end we see that isn't the case. But then she's most afraid of actually losing him within the framework. Because then again, if he dies in the framework, he dies forever. So yeah, and then she says all that, and she says he wants to stay in a world, and he wants to stay in a world with a kid that doesn't even exist, and one who's gonna die anyway because she's not real, so she's gonna get wiped out with everything else. And then Hope, I think at first I thought, oh god, please don't let Matt hear, please don't let Matt hear this, because then he's probably gonna have some kind of outburst. He's gonna break down or something. But then no, it's even worse. Hope is Hope. Just look, real or not real, like a child hearing that is just, and I think that's what that is what this kind of arc has done so well too. Like the fact that from the very first couple of episodes of the framework, they've managed to flesh out all of even the framework elements, even original framework elements as a whole. Like they managed to actually flesh them out and make them so interactive and so sentient, or so lifelike, rather. That it's you actually have to deal with the consequences of actually hurting someone else's feelings. And then actually imagining that happening to a kid too is just something else entirely. So part of you, at least for me, part of me is actually remembering, oh, she's not real. She is a framework element, so she's going to react that way because she's been programmed to be like a normal human child. But then it's also Hope. It's as close to Hope. It's as close to the real Hope that we're going to get. So because of that, there is some sense of legitimacy in there, even if it's not actual fully kind of authentic or anything. So then she kind of hears that, and then I think that too. I think part of me wishes they would have explored that a bit better, but then like a bigger part of me like knows why they wouldn't. Like the idea of like a framework element being told that they're about to die too. So like being told that they're not real for one thing, but then also that they're about to shut down. I think it's it's pretty much exactly the same thing that Ada went through as an LMD too. Like being then deemed too dangerous and needing to be shut down in that episode too. Her needing to be tuned in, and then her actually then repeated, like Ada herself being repeatedly told that that she's not real, she's artificial, she's an AI, and she doesn't have feelings, she doesn't have emotions, she can't feel anything, so her kind of views and perspectives don't really matter, and then she fights so hard to do this. I think I think in that sense, what I kind of hoped for, what part of me hoped we would see from Hope, we already got from Ada in a very fleshed out way, and then because of that, she not only became more and more real through her own programming in her and then the dark cult stuff, but then she also then went on to invent a world where everyone who was fake thought, like, actually believed they were real, not just thought but actually fully believed they were real and that their world was real and that their fight was real and everything. So they've done like so much of that in this season alone. It's just insane. It's insane. So yeah. Oh, and then that final scene with Hope. I swear to God, that scene of Hope with like them all on the couch, like Elena, then deciding, you know what, fine. If he dies here, I like Elena cares about Mac more than anything. She cares about Mac more than anything else. And then if he dies in the framework for Hope, then she dies with him for Hope, and she dies for him too. She herself then immediately decided that she did not want to live in a world without Mac. If Mac did not want to live in a world without Hope, So yeah, then they both prepare, and then oh god, just like the way that flows, the way it cuts, like you can even I think you probably could even actually hear the music actually running up until that point too, and then it's just Mac's voice, and you just see there's like an empty gap in his arms too. They did not have to do me like that. They did not have to do me like that. It's very well done. Don't get me wrong, it's very well done, but they did not have to do me like that. That was just unnecessary, emotional execution. Just god, and it's like it happens exactly the way with the other two. It's and it's not like it's not like some kind of Thanos dusting either. Like people just disappear just like that. It's like oh, do you look around and then turn back at the end, they're gone. And it's like I think kind of makes me wonder like how it would look if they would actually glitch out and then disappear, or if they were just gonna just phase out of reality like some kind of transition effect, or what would happen. But I think the point is that it's all simplistic. It's all very very immediate and recurring, and that's the whole point. Like anyone can disappear in like that. So I mean, technically speaking, Shield did an entire population disappearing before the MCU, before the larger MCU ever did. Shield did it before the movies ever did. So technically speaking, just saying. Then the entire world got dusted away too. So yeah, like that scene, just even even then, Hope actually begging Matt to tell her that she's real and that she's alive and that she's not gonna die and all that kind of stuff. And then Matt kind of deep down he knows she's not, but then he himself so badly wants it to be real, and he himself so badly wants to reassure her even in her final moments that she's real. And then that's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. And then I think that is the one peaceful note behind that scene too, the fact that his last words to her were words of reassurance, his last words to her were words of love, and telling her that she's real and that she's a baby girl and everything. And then when she disappears, he's like, oh, my baby girl, she's gone, and then he just can't, he just breaks down. She's gone, and I think that is what it took for him to actually realize that, like, that is exactly what it took for him to realize that this isn't real anymore. And then he he chose to stay because he thought he would be going back to a world without hope, and then in the end he lost hope even in the framework too. So then it's like, oh god, what the fuck now? So yeah, but then the monitor started beeping, and then Daisy started crying, and I thought, oh my god, don't tell me we're losing Mac in this war too, because then he stayed too late, and he stayed too late, but then he also stayed because of hope, and then he still got to leave with the rest of the framework, and I was like, oh god, we're actually losing Mac, aren't we? And then Elena came through, and I think I was wondering like maybe if there's some kind of delay, but then maybe he actually tried to go through the door, but then Ada caught on to him first, and then he got killed anyway and stuff. But then no, he comes out just behind her. So yeah, that whole thing just wow. Yeah, they really pulled all the stops. Up for that one. So R.I.P. to Hope. she, she mattered in the framework. She was as real as she could have been in the framework. She still, did something, and I think, even Max kind of seeing with Elena at the end, telling Elena, like he still got a glimpse of what he could have had with Hope in the framework. Again, even if it wasn't the best world, he still the life he wanted for her was not just keeping her happy, but also actually keeping herself, keeping her safe, keeping her protected, and actually making sure that she knew that he was there in her corner no matter what happened and everything. And he got to protect her. He shouldn't have had to protect her in a world like that, but still he got to actually be with her. He still got to make memories, and they still had those memories too, like him cheering her up whenever she was sad, them watching cheesy robot movies together, like everything he would have wanted to do in real life with Hope, he still got to do in the framework. And then there was just the added kind of insult to injury of Hydra being around every corner and living in a world like that. So yeah, so then he still managed to acknowledge that, and also managed to acknowledge that, like Elena did nothing wrong, and that, he was still glad that, he was able to actually make it out and back into the real world with Elena again, and he still reassured her that things were okay. So Mac-Elena, yo Matt, I don't know if I don't know if anyone's actually mentioned like a ship name for them before. I don't know if that's actually been mentioned, but either way, if there is, let me know. But yeah, they are back. They are back. So R.I.P. to Hope. R.I.P. to Hope, to Framework Hope, and to the real Hope too. The real Hope too. She lived even less time. She, got the much lesser end of the stick. But R.I.P. to Framework Hope and R.I.P. to real Hope too. So yeah. And then we get Ghost Rider. Robbie was back. Gabriel Luna was finally able to actually show his face in this episode. So he went back to his garage and he picked up his charger and everything, and then he went straight after Ada. Dude went straight after Ada. He just locked onto Ada. Ghost Rider and him just locked onto the dark energy that was inside Ada. So Ada, I think that makes sense. It's like she is neither human, like technically speaking, she is neither human nor inhuman. Like even the machine that Ada built in the real world that was actually built from the dark, like the dark code has been established now to have, to like not only create impossible things, but it also creates it using energy from other dimensions, and by definition, like that energy is dark energy, like dark matter and everything. So not yet creating metahumans, but still, I guess in this instance, Ada's new human body, like Ophelia's body would technically count as would technically somewhat count as metahuman too, because she was not born of Genesis. She is literally born of dark matter. So I think in that sense, she would definitely count as a metahuman or something along those lines. But yeah, so the dark code uses dark matter to actually, conjure up things that, like, energy from our dimension or their dimension simply wouldn't be able to. So because of that, he's able to actually lock onto her and everything. So that's fun. But so Ghost Rider. So yeah, Ghost Rider comes back, and I think there's a bit of aging showing on there too. I don't know if it's just me seeing things or if it's actually intentional. But there is like a bit of aging progression kind of going on there. Like he actually has a bit more facial hair, and then he actually, like, his hair as well is a bit more prominent. His hair is actually a bit more visible, like with some tuft at the front and everything. And he actually looks like he's been through some shit too. So and he even actually did mention that, like down where he was, the Ghost Rider was the driver at that time, and he was just killing and just fighting and doing all sorts of slaying and everything. So he's definitely been through some shit. So his body has been used for that and stuff, with consent, of course, with consent. So there's that. But yeah, Ghost Rider was there for the Darkhold and for Ada, predominantly for the Darkhold, but then because of the threat that she became and what she had, and exactly what she was made of and where she had come from, he was also there for Ada as well. So he mentioned that I think the book was actually also too dangerous to live in that kind of a world and that kind of a dimension. So then he had to actually take it back to Hell, and he mentioned Hell was relative. He mentioned Hell was actually more like a relative term too, like where he had been could easily be described or labeled as hell, but then so could many other places, like other dimensions, other planets, like they can all be. And I think even way back when, like in season 3, Marveth was described as hell because of that condition and because of the isolation and because of the kind of status, the state that anyone sent there was immediately put into. So I think that planet was described as hell too. So I think him saying hell is relative. I think it's also that kind of idea that, like hell and heaven and hell are just kind of pretty much more like textbook labels that you can ascribe to anything to kind of simplify a bit more. So like where he's from, I think if they are following the actual law, then I think like Ghost Rider would go back to Mephisto's realm. So like no name drop here, of course, no name drops here, because then for one thing, I think maybe just like not teasing that stuff yet, or maybe like a rights issue. But even then, like we know that hasn't been teased here yet, because then stuff like thingy wouldn't have been it would have been more prominent in WandaVision too. So yeah, but he kind of described how how it's all relative, and like where he comes from, it's just it's hellish. It can definitely be described as hellish, but it's not the only place that has like a hellish kind of atmosphere to it, or like it's not the only place that can be described that way. So but I think with Ghost Rider being Ghost Rider, like that lore being kind of intrinsically tied to Mephisto as well. I feel like it's Mephisto's realm, but they're just not saying it for like the more obvious reasons. So then it's up to the fans who know to actually kind of be like, oh yeah, he's gonna go back to Mephisto's realm, isn't he? So I mean, I could be wrong. But if I am, then feel free to correct me. But that is just kind of my kind of like theory on that particular concept. Yeah, but then he also spoke about how there's like an ongoing war too. Like Earth is just one territory in like an ongoing war between dimensions and planets and all these different kind of things. That kind of thing intrigued me. I'm wondering if that's maybe only based on that fucking ending we got too of like an outer space prison or some shit. I'm definitely kind of guessing like that's what we're gonna explore next. Like Earth is just one territory in an ongoing war, so then that war is what we need to explore, and that war and like what the other territories are, who else is involved and stuff. So yeah, so then that kind of thing, I think it's definitely an interesting thing to tease, and I think that this probably has to be the final thing we see of Robbie. So I mean that sucks. I mean the fact that we're not going to get any more Robbie sucks. I think this is also why I feel like we need a Ghost Rider spin-off. We need a Ghost Rider solo series, and we need one led by Robbie Reyes. Robbie, like Gabriel Luna came in as Robbie Reyes, and he has done nothing but ace it this entire season. He has really solidified himself as both Robbie and as Ghost Rider 2. So like having like an actual kind of Ghost Rider series that not only is led by Robbie, but then it also allows him to explore the other writers too. Like exploring the one who created him, exploring Johnny Blaze, and I think another one is Danny Ketch too. I think he also has a bike, or he's like another one of the more original kind of Ghost Riders. And then I think there's a guy on the horse exploring other riders, exploring where they come from, exploring Mephisto and his realm and all that kind of jazz. And Agatha could come into Agatha Harkness. She could be in that too. I think Agatha is set to get her own Disney Plus spin-off, which I'm so fucking excited for. Agatha, as of now, as of the time I'm recording this, it's confirmed. Agatha is not only confirmed to get her own Disney Plus spin-off series, but she is also slated to have other kind of pop-up appearances in other products too. So if Agatha can get one, and if they're going to use her to introduce us to Mephisto and stuff, bring Robbie Reyes in, bring the Ghost Rider in. Given what Agatha's backstory is too and her connection with Mephisto, Ghost Rider is the perfect person to tie it all together too. So, but yeah, Ghost Rider. I think Robbie actually explained that Ghost Rider, the thing inside of him, the Ghost Rider inside of him, actually hated Ada as much as well. I think it's because she was created with the Dark Code. So I think Ghost Rider as well. I think it probably sees the Dark Code as a weapon of evil too. It's like what it's capable of doing will ultimately be used for the wrong things. Because I think that kind of power, the kind of power that can grant anyone the ability to do anything they want and to create anything they want, it will ultimately be used, ultimately, or at least predominantly be used for evil or for wrongdoings and stuff. So because it's a weapon of evil that needs to be locked away. But then Ada, he also hated what the Dark Code was able to create, which was Ada and like a human form of Ada with all these powers too. So he like Ghost Rider was happy to come out. I think that explains his actual. I think we have seen Ghost Rider actually roaring or actually growling in anger like that very few times throughout the season. So I think like that scene where he tries to whip her and she disappears too has been the most prominent one. Like him just breaking down in anger and him actually getting pissed off and everything. So that one was very, very visible and very, very kind of interesting to see. So there was that, and then so I think Ghost Rider just hated what Ada had become, and the fact that the Dark Code managed to create her and everything. So he wanted to actually, I think he wanted to take her away. He wanted to take her away and actually take her out for the count and everything. So that was that happened and everything. So that definitely happened. And then he wanted actually to take the Dark Code back too. So I think another reason to actually tie to actually bring Ghost Rider and Agatha Harkness together in their respective spin-off series too. Like here we see Robbie happily. Robbie can actually open Hellfire portals and chain portals with his chain now, so he's actually learned that kind of new trick of actually opening up a new portal thing. That makes you wonder, right? Did he open it up from his side, but then the only way to connect to this side was through the portal that integrate? I mean, actually, no. I mean, no. I think no, because he mentioned that when Ada was created in her human form, that created a tear that then allowed him to escape from hell and actually come back to Earth too. So then. Yes, I think Ada's creation actually created that tear that then opened up the portals, and he actually came through that. But then when going back, he actually managed to use his own thing and actually do that. So yeah, so he's actually learned that new trick of actually him. So then imagine him doing that. Like you see all these kind of typical yellow, sparkly Doctor Strange portals in Endgame, and then when Doctor Strange asks, "Is that everyone?" and then Wong goes like, "Oh, you wanted more? Like not you don't just get Ant-Man, you don't just get Rocket, you don't just get War Machine, you don't just get Hulk, you get you see like another fiery portal opening up, and you see Ghost Rider coming in. Do you know how awesome that would have been to see like a one fight? I mean, would have been major spoilers for me, but still would have been fucking awesome to see like that kind of fire portal opening up, and then like a dude with a flaming skull head and chains walking through and be like, "I'm here for Thanos, so you either stand with me or you get the hell out of my way," and everything. So. Oh god, that would have been good. But alas, we didn't get it. But he can actually open his own Hellfire portal now too. I think what he said he was going to do was actually taking the Darkhold back to Hell, or at least back to where it belongs. He was going to take it back to where it belongs, and we know from WandaVision, the Darkhold was then in it's somehow in the possession of Agatha. That Agatha somehow managed to actually get the Darkhold in her own hands. I think that kind of begs the question. Where did she get it from? How did she get it? And how did she get it out? Because off the bat, I'm kind of picturing Robbie actually taking it somewhere and then leaving it there. He's not actively keeping it on his person. He's actually taking it somewhere to another dimension or a safe run where it's locked away. But then he's also leaving it there and not actually, maybe not sticking with it the entire time, but just kind of trusting that it's actually locked away. But then the question then comes in as to whether or not it was stolen or whether it was broken out. Because then with Agatha, I think either she could have actually found her way into that dimension and actually stolen it from there, or maybe it was actually broken out by someone else or broken out by Agatha herself and then actually collected by her in another place. But either way, she had the Darkhold in WandaVision. And then I think the one difference in that section, I think the one difference, or maybe the one addition might be maybe it could have been some kind of evolution of the Darkhold too. Maybe it could have been when the Darkhold was taken back to where it belonged, it kind of evolved on its own or evolved in some way at some point. But the Darkhold that Agatha had a chapter specifically dedicated to the Scarlet Witch. That could mean many things too. I think that could mean that the same way that the same way that there's information freely available on how to do all these different things that we've seen done in this season, could also mean that there is an actual solidified and kind of cemented chapter in there about the Scarlet Witch, but it's not accessible to anyone who isn't a witch or anyone who wouldn't want that information. So I think that kind of thing, any information about magic would only be useful to wizards or witches. So. Because of that, it's already there, but then it doesn't actually show up on the page like that until you actually are an actual sorcerer or magician or something who actually requires information about the Scarlet Witch or about chaos magic or anything. So then, because the chapter is there and it's ready to access, but only Agatha, who is a witch, would actually need that kind of information. So then, because of that, she says there's a whole chapter in there dedicated to the Scarlet Witch, and there's so much information on what her powers are and how to become her and everything. So yeah, so then we know that the end of the Darkhold journey in this is that it then is taken back to Hell by Robbie, and then fast forward a few years to WandaVision, and then Agatha Harkness all of a sudden has her hands on the Darkhold. So albeit like a different looking Darkhold, but then again that could just be it evolving, it changing its appearance, or it kind of doing something different and stuff and looking different, or I'm kind of calling shots an evolution of some kind, but could just be that. And now Wanda herself is using the Darkhold, so she's kind of and especially with the multiverse coming into, that could easily open up the dimension. That could easily break away the dimensional barriers between dark dimensions too. So you got the dark dimension where what's his name? Dude from the first Doctor Strange one, the Dark Dimension guy. Not Mads Mikkelsen. Well, I think his name was Caecilius, but not him. The big Dormammu. Where Dormammu was. He is from the Dark Dimension. His energy has dark energy that like that Caecilius was using, and his zealots were using. And then in the end, it was revealed that the Ancient One was using that kind of dark energy too. So they were using that, and then all sorts of other dark dimensions too, like Mephisto's realm. Would be really fun to explore. I think I remember that. I remember Mephisto and his realm most vividly from the first Ultimate Alliance game. Like that one had like a big kind of chapter dedicated to Mephisto's realm and fighting Mephisto and doing all that kind of stuff. So I remember like most vividly from that. Like that was just such a fun game. Ultimate Alliance 1, I've played that like 5 different times. It was such a fun game. Ultimate Alliance 2, I played like a third of it. Didn't really get too far into it. I think Ultimate Alliance 3 actually just came out recently on like the Nintendo Switch or something. So, or like the Wii U or like I think probably I think one of the Nintendo consoles. I think Ultimate Alliance 3 actually just got released on one of the Nintendo consoles. So yeah, the Ultimate Alliance 1 was so much fun. And Mephisto's one was actually pretty vividly explored, and it was like a huge kind of chapter in the game too. So I think that one had like a bunch of different settings and a bunch of different locations too. So that was cool. But yeah, Mephisto's one was like another dark dimension. I think that one. I think also based on like the visuals, like from Ultimate Alliance as well. I think that one actually matches the description you'd expect of hell a lot more too, like fire and brimstone and like Mephisto himself looking like the devil too. Like like that one is like a lot more kind of textbook hell that you would expect and everything, but then other stuff kind of is like when you think of hellish, you think of like torture and nightmares and all that kind of stuff, and that can come from almost anywhere too. So Ghost Rider took the Darkhold back to hell, we know that, and then something else happened between that happening and then Agatha having the Darkhold in her possession to use magic, and now Wanda has it too. So I think now I'm wondering, maybe now Ghost Rider might come in. I mean, if Ghost Rider comes in the multiverse of madness to try and take the Darkhold away from Wanda as well, oh god. I feel like I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. I feel like I'm just setting myself up for some major disappointment, but give it to me, Marvel. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Ghost Rider and Quake team up. Ghost Rider and Quake teaming up. That was by far some of the hottest stuff I've seen in this show, and I'm not even afraid to say that. I'm not even afraid to admit it. That was by far, and no pun intended, that was the hottest stuff. One of the hottest things I've seen in this entire show, Ghost Rider and Quake, just wow, just they get along so well. I think even Robbie and Daisy, actually had some really great chemistry in this kind of episode alone. Like I think they had like just easily like one of the kind of rockiest and friendliest kind of infos in this season and in this show as a whole. So seeing him coming back and him seeing Daisy too, he seemed really kind of like not necessarily flirtatious, but just really open and friendly and casual and calm and everything. And she was just like, I'll see you back. So that's some pretty great stuff. Yeah, that's pretty great to see you back and being all Robbie in your leather jacket and your chains again. And like they were just kind of really kind of like they just had really friendly and really positive kind of chemistry with each other, which is really kind of like a vibe that I could really dig and everything. So seeing them together was really fun, and just seeing them kind of as friends and as fellow kind of enhanced and powerful kind of people was really fun. And I'm just gonna say if there are people who do ship them, I don't blame them one bit. I personally, I think we didn't I don't, because we didn't really because for one thing, I feel like they just work really well together as friends, but also because even if I want to ship them, I would just need more time. Like this episode alone was a great introduction to that. But if there is anyone out there who does ship them, I don't blame you one bit. I don't blame you. But I think this episode alone did kind of give off vibes of they would be good together. But it's clear that like he's just kind of happy to see her. He's happy to see her as a friend and as a fellow enhanced person, and he is kind of happy to see like a fellow agent of like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he knows her and he trusts her and he's worked with her, so he knows that she's good people and everything, and he's happy to help and everything, and then she's happy to have him in her corner again, and she's happy to have him fighting with them and being the Ghost Rider again. So that kind of relationship there, like that friendship alone there is just solid. It's well founded. It's, you know, the foundation is there and it's frozen. You can never destroy that, no matter how hard you try. But yeah, but then Ghost Rider and Quake. Oh, Ghost Rider and Quake is a whole other level. That is when the ass kicking and the name taken comes into place. Like in a Ghost Rider using his chains, and even that kind of slow motion face turning transformation is almost instant now. So he's actually really fully delved into it and everything. And Quake's just, you know, using her Quakes and her powers and her punches and everything. She just kind of comes in, and like when they use their powers, it's just one hell of a combo too. Like, you know, even Ghost Rider using his chains to actually slice Ivanov's LMD into pieces, and then Quake using her powers to blast him across the room into pieces. Like, it's just like the one time I feel like Coulson might actually envy me. Like, he walks into the room with May and he's like, oh, like the fight is over. He sees the dead bodies and he sees Ghost Rider and Quake just standing there, and he's like, oh god, I missed it. You two teaming up, you two using your awesome badass powers together, and I missed the team up of the decade. And I just, now Coulson can, if he ever comes into the real world and watches reactions, then he can live vicariously through reactions of watching Ghost Rider and Quake teaming up. So yeah, but that is just honestly just some of the best stuff I've seen. Some of the best stuff I've seen is just like they work so well together. And it's just nothing more than a pleasure watching them work well together. So it's really great. It is really, really solid, and it is really great. So yeah. And I think another thing I really grew to appreciate and I really grew to kind of love was just how easily Ghost Rider actually how easily Robbie himself actually tore through the LMDs. Like he didn't even break a single sword. Like he didn't even actually bring the Rider out until it was time to face Ada, because then she was the more prominent and more actual threatening threat. But then with the LMDs, he just easily ducked and dodged and punched and just, he full on threw. I think he threw like Ivanov or one of the other ones actually into like a wall or something, so he fully had the strength and he fully had the means actually to tear the other LMDs apart with little to no difficulty. But then with Ada, that's when he actually needed to bring the Rider out, and the Rider was the one who hated it. The Rider was the one who actually needed to take her down and out for the count, so that was true. And then okay, you see, when they turned Mac into Ghost Rider, when they actually pushed the Rider into Mac, when they pushed the Rider spirit into Mac and Mac became the Ghost Rider, I was blown away. I didn't think they could top that. I didn't actually think that they would top that. I didn't really think that they would actually go any further than that. But then with this episode, Philip Coulson, I think, is it Phil J? I think is it Phil J Coulson? I think it might be Philip J Coulson. I think is his middle name J? I think there might be a J in the middle somewhere. I think Philip Coulson as the Spirit of Vengeance, as the Ghost Rider. My goodness, that twist kind of pretty closely got me out of nowhere. Did not think they would go there. I think him, using. I thought he might use the Dark Code for something else, like use the Dark Code to create another weapon, or use the Dark Code to actually give himself other kinds of powers or something, or like using that. He said he wanted to use that as bait, but no. Then he made a deal. Then Coulson made a deal. Apparently Coulson made a deal. Apparently he made a deal with the Rider too. Like he spoke to Robbie about it very briefly, and he actually said that he made a deal with the Rider, and that he wasn't going to tell the team until it was time. So I think that one, he definitely didn't elaborate on it in this episode. So I think that might be something that might have to be established or explored later on down the line. So maybe season 5, maybe that would be what season 5 story is, actually exploring what Coulson's deal was and everything too. So that should be fun. But yeah, Coulson as the Ghost Rider, my god, that transformation was amazing. That whole sequence was amazing. Just him actually finally grabbing onto Ada and actually teleporting with her throughout all these different different locations and everything. That was really cool. That is the end of Ada. So Coulson became the Ghost Rider. Coulson, my guy, has been through so much. He got killed by ever since having been resurrected in season 1. He has been through so damn much. He discovered he was part alien. Then he discovered that all the stuff in season 2. And then he discovered that he lost his hand at the end of season 2. He lost his hand. And he got a robot hand, and then he went to a different planet, and then he's been possessed by the Spirit of Vengeance. Like Coulson, Coulson deserves like a return to the larger screen in some way. Coulson deserves a return to the big screen in some way. He deserves like a re-entry into the MCU with his team. No, that's with his team. They deserve. I mean, saying it now feels a bit late. Feels very late, but they deserve some kind of like a return to the big screen in some way. And Endgame would have been perfect. But nevertheless, he has done nothing but, you know, he has had nothing but adventurous and badass exploits in this series, and he has done nothing but be amazing and be like an incredible leader and an incredible team player, and he has been nothing but an incredible agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And stuff. So he and him becoming the Ghost Rider to actually help finally take down Ada too has been great. I was kind of questioning why Robbie wouldn't have just done it, but then I think it's because like his main mission was then actually to try and actually take the Darkhold back while he still could, and then maybe I should come back for Ada. But then with Coulson and like Talbot's whole thing going on too, time was not really much of like a luxury they had like a lot of, and then time was not really an option they had. So because of that, I think, you know, like this was the only other option. I think I'm perfectly cool with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Like seeing Coulson as a Ghost Rider was just like something else entirely, and it was just like such a memorable moment as well. Like seeing Coulson actually transforming into a Ghost Rider, and again, like that VFX on him was as insane as ever. Like so detailed and so kind of fluid and so, you know, visual and so vivid, and any other adjective I can come up with. But seeing the visuals on him was great, and seeing him fully utilizing those powers was really great too. So, I mean, I also can't really help but wonder what kind of deal Coulson might make too. Because I think with Robbie, I think it's always been about him a bit. Like it was about him. Like first it was about him actually avenging his brother and actually making sure he was okay, and actually swearing to do right by the Rider as long as his brother actually lived, which happened. And then the second time it was about actually making sure that their deals were done. So like, you know, like the Rider helps him with his deal with Eli, and then he helps him settle all of his scores. And I think with Mac, it was like Mac having lost. I think with Mac, I think it was more like with the Mac thing, it was more like the Rider wanting to stay with him because he had a lot of pain, and the Rider wanted to rectify that pain and everything. So with him, it was more of that. But then with Coulson, I don't know exactly what kind of deal he would make, what kind of griefs he would have left that he believed the Rider would be able to rectify or be able to fix in some way. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of deal he would cut there. Then, like exactly like what kind of loss he wouldn't be able to move on from that he believes that the Rider would be able to help with, or the Rider would come back for. So yeah, or like maybe like or I don't know, maybe it's like, you know, like he lets the Rider in now, or like I think because the Rider wouldn't have any reason to want to go into Coulson. It would be Coulson actually asking the Rider to go into him so that he can do the bidding, and then that's then. If like so then if it like so then like it, so it would be a case of, so then I think in that case wouldn't it be more like a case of like, oh, what's in it for the Rider, like if the Rider goes into Coulson's body and helps him do this thing, what's in it for the Rider? So yeah, so then it would be a case of like, you know, what can Coulson give to the Rider then? So I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I'm assuming like this is stuff that's going to be explored in season 5 going in. So for many different reasons, excited for season 5. For many different reasons, excited for season 5. So that should be fun. That should be a fun time. And then yeah, the other stuff we had Talbot. Talbot got shot in the face. I did not. It took me a while. I didn't even process that immediately. I really didn't even actually process that headshot immediately. I thought, oh, maybe this is some kind of stage thing. Maybe it's like an LMD, or maybe he kidnapped the, because Ivanov was there. And Ivanov and his other Russian dude were LMDs too. So maybe he managed to kidnap Talbot, and then Ada created like a Talbot LMD too. So maybe Talbot was there to pretend to be faked by the whole thing. But maybe he was there to actually really stage the whole kind of S.H.I.E.L.D. going down under things, and then. You know, and then Ivanov was there with the Darkhold too, so he was actually there to help the world actually build the other world where Inhumans are hunted, and he was actually framing Inhumans as the enemy and S.H.I.E.L.D. and so then S.H.I.E.L.D. was under a hot target. S.H.I.E.L.D. was under a hot target, and they're under hot crosshairs too, with Mace's secret being exposed to, Mace being exposed as like a human all along. So then, you know, S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually being S.H.I.E.L.D. was being cancelled. S.H.I.E.L.D. was I don't even know. I mean, I wanted to make that joke, but I don't even know if that would actually be accurate here. Like S.H.I.E.L.D. being cancelled, like a S.H.I.E.L.D. is over party or something. I don't even know if that would actually be accurate here, because they wanted to shut S.H.I.E.L.D. down, so S.H.I.E.L.D. would definitely. I think with Shield secrets then being exposed and Shield wanting to be shut down by the other governments of the world, I think cancellation would definitely be applicable here. So Shield was cancelled. Shield was effectively on the way on the verge of being cancelled, and then Talbot was actually fighting to make sure that didn't happen. So yes, and Ivan was in, and then I think thingy Talbot just got shot in the face. He got shot in like the corner of his forehead. I vaguely spotted the blood like spurting out, and then him actually being shot in the face too. So I didn't fully clock it until later on when it was revealed. Because I think Daisy walked in like that, and I thought, oh, she's gonna be there to kill Ivanov and thingy. But then no, she just walks in and she's there to actually do that, and then she shoots Talbot in the forehead. So I think the last thing that Talbot sees is Daisy Johnson walking in and shooting him in the forehead. So I think that's probably not gonna. Next time when he wakes up, I think they reported that he was actually alive, but he was in a coma. He was alive in a coma. So next time he wakes up, it better not be in front of Daisy, and he's gonna see her. He sees her when he goes down, and he sees her when he gets up again. It's gonna be mayhem. It's gonna be mayhem. So yeah, but then Talbot just got shot in the face, and I think that it didn't really register to me at all until it was actually much later. So that was a thing that happened. But then, yeah, Ivanov was there with the Dark Court, actually trying to convince the other kind of council members or whatever they were to actually use the Dark Court to actually bring that world to life, and to be like, oh, we can actually help you, build this world where Inhumans, like where the Inhuman threat and where the Shield threat is eradicated once and for all, and giving his usual speech and everything. So that was the whole thing. But yeah, Talbot is alive. Talbot is okay. So yeah, but now I think especially like with the other woman at the end, like she was demanding that the security army guys actually take Coulson and May away. So I think she herself is actually fully under the belief that Shield is responsible and that Shield is now the enemy. So once again, Shield is under the negative spotlight and actually is being seen with or without Hydra. Because I think now like they've been Ivanov managed to paint Shield as a secret kind of as some kind of secret military that was actually recruiting and training Inhumans for war and actually using them to wage war on the world and everything, and because of that, like they were actually inherently making Inhumans more of a threat, and the Shield that way was more of a threat too. So I think now Shield is going to face that backlash too. That like with or without Hydra, Shield then is able to harness and execute their own evil plans and stuff too. So now Shield is facing that kind of backlash. So that's a thing. So, but but Talbot is okay. He's in a coma, but he's okay. So that's good news. And then I think another scene I want to talk about is when Ada actually teleported into the kind of server room where Gemma and Fitz were. And that scene, my god, that one had me on the edge of my seat. I didn't even know what to think. I didn't even know what the hell was going on in that scene. I was confused. I was terrified to begin with, and then confused as time went on. Because then she actually genuinely stabbed Gemma with the screwdriver, and then she actually started twisting herself. I thought we were going to lose. Honestly, this season has been so fucking crazy. I didn't know how it was going to end, who we were going to surprisingly lose, or what was going to happen. So I was fully, kind of then expecting Gemma to end up dying or something. And then when she had her hands on her head, I thought it was going for like a neck snap or something. Like, so you got a screwdriver in the chest, dangerously close to the heart maybe, and then planning going for like a neck snap or something. But then no, she just actually then ends up actually frying the absolute crap out of us. And then I thought, oh god, she's gonna electrocute her to death. And then the entire time, Fitz was surprisingly calm. Fitz was actually surprisingly reasonable. And then on the one hand, I thought, okay, maybe this time he's actually fighting like hell to keep his emotions in check. Maybe he feels like, oh, the more emotional and more reactive he is, the more prone to actually killing her on the spot that Ada might be. So if he's reasonable and if he seems calm and collected, then maybe he can actually communicate with Ada in a better way. Then maybe that might be the thing. But then I was like, okay, but it's still it still caught me off guard how like calm and how reasonable he was being, and like how he was able to actually talk and present himself so calmly and stuff. Like the amount of calm in that scene and in his character presentation really caught me off guard. So I was like, wait, what is actually going on? And then she killed her, and then she killed Gemma, and then that happened, and then he just just got pinned up against the thing too. And I think I was like, oh my god, like what is happening? What is actually happening in this season? Like I think And it's like I don't need, I honestly don't know why. Like I think in that instance, I think at least in that instance, I think Occam's razor. I trust that is the philosophy. I mean, I think that is the correct philosophy. Like the most logical explanation being the most reasonable one. I don't know why the LMD thing didn't really occur to me. That's like okay, like I think for there's no way they could. I mean, there is a way because again, it would be the way to fully display Ada's anger that she kills the one reason that she can't have Fitz. Like Gemma being alive, Fitz loves Gemma, so then if she kills Gemma, then that might be her way of trying to get to Fitz too. So maybe she actually kills the her competition, then maybe that way she can finally have Fitz. And then if she actually kills Gemma, then that for her that would make sense. Then it means we actually lose Gemma at the end of all this to Ada's kind of founded and very well established kind of anger and her emotional retaliation and everything. So then maybe in that sense it makes sense, and then maybe we lose Gemma. But then I don't know. It's just oh god, it just seems so crazy to actually think like they're actually taking Simmons away from me and everything. So. But then afterwards actually Fitz himself actually wiped away his fake tears, his crocodile tears and everything. I really do wonder how it was like for Fitz in that too, because I think with Gemma, she was terrified of the thought of like back in self-control. She was terrified of the thought of actually having losing Fitz to this kind of thing, and potentially Fitz actually potentially having been lost to the LMD kind of takeover and everything. So she was actually terrified of that. But then with Fitz, it's like he went in knowing that Gemma was taken. He went in knowing that he'd have to see Gemma actually like an LMD with Gemma's clothes and her face and her voice and everything dying and everything. And I think even her last words were, "This is all on you." Like her last words to him were, "This is all on you." So then I figured, okay, this has to be fake. This has to be like nothing but fake. But then it's like it just feels just so kind of overwhelming that I just really don't know how to actually process what's going on. So and then at the very end, after Robbie disappears, then I really love Daisy's speech. To Fitz, Fitz actually thinking that he has to leave, like he must stay behind and sacrifice himself because he was the one, like he feels responsible for the LMDs, for the framework, for Ada, for all of it, and he believes that he has to be the one to pay the ultimate penance. And I think it's exactly what I think. I love Daisy's speech because it's like she referenced it. It's exactly what she felt she had to do after the stuff with Hive and being swayed and Lincoln's death and then losing Lincoln and then her feeling like she had to pay penance too, and like her actually spending that time actually reassuring Fitz that no matter what happens, two things will always be like an unchangeable, immutable, and cemented fact that one, they're a team and they're a family and they always stick together no matter what happens, and no matter who does any wrongdoings or no matter who gets like the wrong end of the stick in trying to do the good thing or trying to do the right thing, they will always stick together and they will always have each other's back. So that's one. Number two, that something that all of them can agree on, all of them can see clearly, is that Fitz, this is not on Fitz. Fitz, did not Fitz did not in any way sanction any like wrongdoings or any ill doings. Even on Radcliffe, Radcliffe was Radcliffe had his vision and his perspective warped by the evils and the evil potentials of the Darkhold. He took things into his own hands, but Fitz had nothing but good intentions. He had nothing but the goodness of his heart, the kindness and goodness of his heart working full time when actually coming up with these inventions and actually trying to do something good for the people that he worked with and for the world that he was trying so hard to protect and the world that he was given the job of protecting. And everything, so he fought hard. He fought like hell to actually keep those ideals alive. Whenever, like the entire time he was doing all this stuff. So, Daisy actually reminding him that like none of what happened is on him, and that he has nothing to apologize for either. Really got to me, and actually seeing her reassuring him, and just seeing her actually, seeing Daisy herself actually being the one to actually reassure him too, that they would be with him. The entire time, but then she especially would be with him, and she would always stand by his side and actually see him for exactly who he was, and seeing his actions for what he was trying to do and stuff was really fun. Just seeing Fitz being reassured, and just seeing them all standing in like a circle of solidarity, a circle of like forgiveness regardless, and standing like a circle of support and everything, and circle of love. Just like they are a family. Agents Shield. If there is one thing Agents Shield has achieved that no one else, if there's one thing that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has achieved, it's family. It's that familial solidarity, the familial relationship that they've actually managed to establish from season 1. Not to say that they haven't had rocky roads or highs and lows or anything like that, but then in the end, they've always managed to actually come full circle and come right back around to family, and then like actually fully fully kind of displaying with the utmost kind of vividness that family has highs and lows. Family will always have highs and lows, but then in the end they're family. In the end they're family. So, and found family has. I swear, like this show is honestly one of the things that makes me love the found family aspect of storytelling and found family aspect of life overall. Like found family you get is the found family you keep, and it's the found family you always have. And the found family is nothing if not done right in this show as a whole. So I love it. I love it so much. I love it a bit. So yeah, Fitz has his newfound family here, and they will always stand by him no matter what happens, and he always has them to fall back on and everything. So Daisy being the one to actually remind him of that and to actually tell him that and to make sure he knows that does nothing if not warm my heart and stuff. So yeah, that meant a lot. And again, he even actually referencing she dyed her hair and changed her appearance and went undercover and just kind of distanced herself from the team and from the agency as a whole, thinking they would actually fix what happened and thinking they would actually help her after what happened. But in reality, she lost herself and she lost her way, and she found out that, and then she eventually came to realize that the team was her way. That like the team was where she belonged, and the team will always forgive her, and then that was exactly the message she wanted to pass on to Fitz too. So I love them. I love Daisy Johnson and I love Leopold Fitz. So nothing will ever change that. Nothing will ever change that. And I love the whole team. So yeah. And then we had some kind of much like relatively light-hearted stuff with May and Coulson too. Like May eventually realizing that the LMD May was the reason that the bottle of Hague had already been opened. He opened it with her. He opened it with her when he wanted to, and he did things with her that he really should have reserved for the real May. But then pretty much like the entire past few episodes, he's been feeling nothing but guilty about actually having to confront the real May about all the things that he promised he would do with her, but then ended up unknowingly doing with the LMD May too. So then now they've made a deal that they will actually crack open a second bottle of Hague. They will take a few steps back. And they'll actually redo some things together officially, and between the real Coulson and May. And then they'll actually crack open a second bottle of Hague when the time comes for that too. So hopefully season 5, hopefully we get like a Fill in the Kiss 2.0, and also a second bottle of Hague being opened between them, and some more authentic and more official reminiscing of their past and lives and everything. So yeah, second bottle of Hague, here we come. Second bottle of Hague, here we come. And then at the very end, we got to what I can only imagine. We got at the very end. What I can only imagine is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version of the Avengers shawarma scene. The Avengers had their shawarma back in Avengers 1. They went to a shawarma restaurant, their shawarma. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. go to a cafe and they have probably coffee and they have cafe food. They have whatever, and then they even tried to have pie at the end. But then the power went out. They were eating in a cafe, and then the power went out, and then some dudes came in, like a bald guy with shades or something came in, or I don't know if he had shades, but like a bald guy in the shadows came in, and he came in and came with dudes with guns, and then everyone was just pretty much hands up and ready to actually be arrested by whoever that was, and then he actually pulled out like some kind of device that froze them, like actually legitimately froze them in place. I was wondering if maybe it was some kind of paralysis thing, and maybe they could actually still move their eyes about and stuff, and maybe just be frozen in place like that. But then, similar to the device from Iron Man, where the paralysis thing actually reaches you and you're just frozen in place and stuff like that. But then no, with this one, it's almost like it actually just kind of froze them in place, and they couldn't react at all, and they couldn't move at all, and then all of a sudden they're being moved, and then the scene cuts to black, and then the scene cuts back to Coulson in some kind of a bed, and he looks like he's aged. Coulson looks like he's aged too. It actually looks like it's been some time for him too. He's actually going a bit of grey facial hair, like a bit of facial hair, and then his hair's turning greyer by the day too. And then he actually opens up some kind of window or some kind of shutter, and then he's in fucking space. He's in a space. The background is just space with the rocks floating around and stars in the background. So apparently we've left Earth. Apparently we've actually wherever Coulson and presumably the rest of the team has been taken, we're not on Earth anymore. We're definitely not on Earth anymore. So now he's been moved to some kind of some kind of space prison perhaps, and now things are about to get a lot more intergalactic. So I am excited. I am very excited to see what season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. holds in store for me, and I can only imagine you guys are too. So season 5 reactions, of course they're coming. I'm not dropping the show now or ever. I'm gonna go through the show to its completion. So we can all unitedly, or we can all unitedly, is that what I think unitedly as well. We can all unitedly and in unison we can all look forward to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5 together. Like as you've been doing, as you've been doing so far, you can look forward to re-experiencing season 5 with me for the first time. So I am very excited. to see what season 5 holds. So it should be fun. It should be very fun. But I am very curious. I'm very curious to see who that guy was, and who those guys were with the guns, and how this all kind of connects, and where this all leads to and stuff. So it should be fun. It should be very fun. And now on to season 4. My review for season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that was episode 22's review, done and dusted. Now my review for season 4. I just wow. Like this season has been a mind-blowing experience that I have had nothing but the utmost privilege of experiencing. This season has just reignited like my love for superhero media, for superhero media in general. Like this season has reignited my love for TV shows. For like the TV format and superhero media. Like it has done so many things right and so little wrong. It has done just so many things. It's just done so much, and it's done all of that stuff right too. Like it's tackled so many different kind of it's managed to comfortably and consistently pack 3 different arcs into one show in such like a fluid manner, and such like an easy to process kind of manner, or really like a relatively easy to process kind of manner. It's actually done so much in that regard. It's actually tackled so many different topics, and so many different kind of so many different areas, and so many different kind of character arcs too. And it's actually done so much with its characters and with its stories that it's just like the characters go through so much in this season. Like compared to season 1 to 3. Season 1 to 3 is a roller coaster ride, but season 4 is where season 3 is where the rock is where if you imagine like a spaceship kind of taking off, right? Season 1 is where the spaceship gets built and it's constructed, and you start to actually garner some passengers. Season 2 is the fueling stage. Season 2 is where the spaceship actually gets some fuel and it gets in charge and actually gets ready to blast off. And then season 3 is where it actually starts getting ready to actually take off and everything. Season 4, it's just flying around in space, about like through debris and through rings and through planets. It's just flying around everywhere. It's just doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and it's just actually just flying around and taking you along for the joyride and everything. I think like something tells me season 4 onwards is like that is exactly what season 4 onwards is. It's just that one rocket ship just flying around through space, taking along for the joyride, and just doing all sorts of like U-turns and loop-de-loops and full on kind of like hyperdrive blasts and everything. It's just like the craziest journey. Season 4 has just been the craziest, like one of the craziest journeys in TV that I have ever had, and the only thing that makes me happier, like the only thing that makes it better, the only thing that makes me happier than having watched it at all is having actually reacted to this season with all of you, how all of you experiencing these highs and lows, these undeniable highs, these highs, like no lows I can think of, but all of you being able to actually re-experiencing all these highs with me and actually supporting me through these reactions and actually being here to enjoy them and actually sharing your theories and relishing in these emotions as well has been nothing it's what I love about reacting. So it's one of the things I actually love about reacting. So you guys are amazing. Just sharing the love and supporting the love and indulging the love and all that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. It's just really amazing, and actually just reassuring me that things actually only get better from here too. Actually just not only indulging all of the first-hand emotions I have from the earlier stages of season 4, but then actually assuring me, it only gets crazier from here, So buckle up and get ready. So I buckled up, and I was ready, and it still blew me away. So just goes to show how much Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually cares about seatbelts and all that crap. So yeah, season 4 has just been, you know, introducing me to the Ghost Rider. Like season 3, I was clowning, thinking about Ghost Rider joining the show and thinking, oh, you know, it'll be cool, and then like, you know, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the kind of show that, you know, like, you know, like me saying back then, you know, oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is definitely the kind of show that, you know, Ghost Rider will actually thrive in and actually be a great introduction for him, but then it will probably never happen. Season 4, episode 1, I pretty much just marched right on into Clown Academy. I marched right into Clown Academy with my clown hat and clown makeup and clown like certificate that Liam Duke himself took the liberty of forwarding to me, so thank you for that, Dookie. Thank you. You know, I enrolled myself into clown college right from the get-go, and then, you know, I was nothing but blown away by the progression, the character progression and the character exploration of Ghost Rider from the get-go. Ghost Rider was just so fucking well done, and I think they did a really great job actually introducing someone else too, but then come, like, surprise, surprise, I think it was episode 5 or 6 or something that they actually then explored Johnny Blaze. They actually established that Johnny Blaze exists as the Ghost Rider in this universe, and he was actually the one who turned Robbie Reyes into the Ghost Rider too. So I think like Robbie Reyes has been nothing but phenomenal, and Gabriel Luna, I just, you know, I love him as an actor. He's just phenomenal, and I really can't wait to see him in The Last of Us. The Last of Us, I think, is currently filming, so he's going to be playing Tommy. He's going to be playing Tommy Miller, so he's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to actually, I can't wait for that one to come out so I can react to that too. But Gabriel Luna is just amazing. He's amazing. So he has been a phenomenal Ghost Rider, and I think because of that, I really hope that he actually does get the opportunity to actually come back to this character in the future and actually come back to actually integrating him into the larger MCU in the future as well. So hopefully that is actually in the books for him, and hopefully he does get approached by that. Hopefully he does get approached with that by Kevin Feige or someone in Marvel soon. You know, bring Robbie Reyes back to us, bring him back to us. But he has been nothing short of phenomenal in this season. So that's him. Mallory Jansen as Ada. God, easily one of my favorite, I think, villains. I guess I think she definitely counts as a villain in the season. Easily one of my favorite villains in all of Marvel media. Like Mallory Jansen, and it's, I think like a large part of it goes down to Mallory Jansen too. Like Ada herself as a character is super complex and super well explored and super kind of like, you know, super like well established and everything with her motivations and her actions and everything. But Mallory Jansen, she played like 4 or 5 different fucking versions of Ada in this season. Like she played 3 different versions of Ada. She played Agnes too, and she just knocked it out of the park consistently, playing all of these people, and she actively really kind of solidified Ada as being this kind of force to be reckoned with, while also making you kind of empathize with her and what she wanted and what she fought so hard to achieve and everything. And she played a great Madame Hydra too. She played a really, really amazing Madame Hydra. But bringing that character to life and actually bringing that character into the world and everything, so that was really fun. And Ada to me is Ultron done right the first time around. For me, Ada is Ultron done right the first time around. Because I think Ultron, you know, is easily not the worst villain, but I think like the way he was done in his own movie, I think. Not just to say it wasn't necessarily comic, it wasn't entirely comic accurate or like comic kind of comparable, but I think like the way he was done, I think Ultron definitely deserved more than just one kind of view. I think actually trying to compress him down to one movie. I feel like it was just actually pushing too much into one movie and actually just wasn't really giving him enough of what he was meant to be. So I think with Ada, I think again the advantage of actually doing things in a TV format as opposed to like a 2.5-hour movie. Like, you know, 2.5 hours is still a lot, but then with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually giving us 22 solid episodes of Ada from start to finish and actually showing us what she's doing, what she's capable of, how she progresses, and how she over time breaks down into being this kind of like a creature and everything, and this kind of a creation, not creature, this kind of a creation, actually showing like her eventual kind of collapse into this kind of antagonistic kind of entity of like dark energy and technology and everything. It's just so great to see, and I think it's easily what makes Ada one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time, and she's just like so like well portrayed by Mallory Jansen. Mallory Jansen's better. I mean, I keep saying this about different people, but I feel like it's just too late to say it now. But you know, like Mallory Jansen definitely should have, you know, achieved, and like if she didn't achieve an Emmy or like some kind of award for her role in this season, then I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. Like Ian DeKleister, that's one thing. Ian DeKleister in this season, that is one thing. But Mallory Jansen, she blew her socks off. She blew everyone else's socks off in this season. Her work in this season has been nothing short of memorable. Like she came in as Ada, and she just absolutely, you know, solidified her position on this show as one of the biggest villains it's had. Like Ada and the LMD arc has just been so solid, and like I think one of my absolute favorite robot uprising stories to consume, and it even actually takes inspiration and even references from time to time actual movies they have in that universe too, that they actually take inspiration from, and they actually kind of use to try and combat this kind of threat too. So, you know, it just works so well. It works really well. And the framework stuff too. The framework has been mind-boggling and dark and dramatic, and you know, speaking of the framework, I think I was gonna mention the framework theme, the closing credits theme that comes with the framework, like that kind of like piano notes with the whole kind of like mind thing, like the music. Bear McCreary is a fucking legend. Okay, Bear McCreary is an otherworldly legend. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he has quickly made it onto my list of like, you know, top favorite composers and stuff for any kind of track. Like, you know, I think I love I am a huge fan of like several different kind of like composers and everything. Like, you know, Pina Toprak, her work on Captain Marvel and Stargirl, most notably, like her work on those two products has been great, and I can't wait to see like what else she's been a part of. Alan Silvestri, like his like work is undeniable. Henry Jackman, and now Bear McCreary. I think I actually didn't know before that he actually did the music for The Walking Dead too. But that theme is iconic. And the music in that has been really great. So Bear McCreary did that. But Agents of Shield just. Like I have the Agents of Shield theme as my alarm tone. My alarm tone on a lot of days. I think I have to my mind adapts to hearing music as my alarm ringtone too quickly and too well. So sometimes I actually end up sleeping right through my alarm because you know, like every few days I will actually genuinely have the Agents of Shield theme overture as my actual alarm ringtone, and it just like there is nothing like waking up in the morning to the sound of, you know, the Agents of Shield theme, like actually thinking you're actually waking up to go work for Shield in the morning. But yeah, Bear McCreary's work in this season, like Ghost Rider's theme, I need to find out if Ada has a theme. And if she does, then I need to actually look that up and have a listen to it. But I think Ghost Rider's theme has been phenomenal. The framework theme, I love it so much. I think I'm actually kind of torn between which one is my favorite between the Ghost Rider and then the framework themes. But the framework theme has that kind of eerie, kind of sci-fi-esque kind of tone to it that just really fits, and it actually really has like a creepy alternate reality vibe to it too. And it's just it's just so great. But then Ghost Rider's theme has that kind of hellish kind of doom. Like it literally sounds like something out of Doom, or like something out of some kind of Hellfire franchise, or like some kind of like hellish sci-fi franchise, which I guess season 4A really is, like hellish sci-fi and everything. So Ghost Rider's theme is just top notch, and the framework theme is top notch. I think Ada's theme I have to actually go back and find out if there is, but then the music in season 4 has been just otherworldly and incredible. So that's one thing. But then the framework as an arc has been really great. It's brought back some familiar faces. And it's been really great to watch them. And then, you know, Brett Dalton has been great. I think easily the one and only Grant Ward that I can actually vibe with, the one and only Grant Ward I can actually get with returning and actually agree with is, of course, Framework Ward. Framework Ward, the one Ward that turned out right, the one Ward that actually became a hero. He actually worked as a legitimate agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, and even then, like, even the difference being that, you know, like in the framework, the roles, the backgrounds of Ward and Fitz were actually swapped around. So instead, Ward was actually raised to be a good guy, and he was actually raised by Victoria Hand and trained by her. And then Fitz was actually taken away from his mother by his father and raised to be a psychopath and everything. So that whole kind of character switcheroo was really, really well established and really well kind of fleshed out and really well kind of displayed and written and everything. So that was cool. But the framework has just been just like so much changes, like a few tweaks here and there, and a few tweaks here and there, and you essentially get Marvel's Flashpoint. The framework is essentially Marvel's Flashpoint. The framework is like the Hex from WandaVision. It's Marvel's Matrix, and now it's also Marvel's I literally just said it and I forgot it already. What did I say? It's Marvel's God damn it! I just said it. I just said it and I forgot it already. I literally just said it and I forgot it already. I literally just said it. Is the Marvel's Oh, fuck off! I literally just said it. And I said it, and then as soon as I said it, and then as soon as I started to think about the Hex, and as soon as I started to think about the Matrix, it just immediately slipped from my mind. It just immediately left my mind. So I said it, and I've already lost it. I'm gonna be kicking myself when I actually go back through the footage and everything, and actually find myself actually saying it the first time around. But God, and this is another problem too. I talk way too fast, and then I actually end up just mispronouncing words or half pronouncing them, and then I just end up actually stammering and everything. It's a problem. It's a problem. So yeah, the framework is essentially Marvel's. I don't know. I've lost it. I said it once, and it was gold, and then it immediately disappeared. I said it once, and I got it, and then it immediately disappeared. But hopefully you still get what I'm trying to say. It's just like an insane kind of thing, and it's like the exploration of a virtual reality / alternate dimension being so real and or at least being so kind of like feeling so real and feeling so fluid and feeling so authentic, and it actually Flashpoint, I got it. Marvel's Flashpoint. Yeah, I was thinking about like the tweaks thing. It's Marvel's Flashpoint. Marvel's Flashpoint. It's Marvel's Flashpoint. So like a few tweaks. I mean, for Flashpoint it was like one tweak. For Flashpoint it was actually one tweak, like the Flash going back and saving his mother and changing all this stuff. But then with this one, it's like, oh, you change a few things here and there, and then you create like a whole new world that changes everything, and no one really knows each other, and it's also different. So yeah, the framework is Marvel's Flashpoint. And it's been such like a mind-boggling journey to have to actually take on, to actually explore and everything, and see just how different people can be. And I think it's also brought out some really really commendable and really praiseworthy and really kind of applaudable like different acting choices and acting styles in different people. Like Fitz being a completely different person. Ian DeKuyster deserves a fucking Emmy for this season. For this season alone, he deserves a fucking Emmy. And Ian DeKuyster and Mallory Jansen deserve Emmys for this season alone. So that's I need to know that's a thing. Or I need to know that I mean, I already kind of know, but I need to double check that that's actually like a universally agreed thing within the fandom. But I also need to know if that's at least a thing as well. That they deserve it, and then I mean everyone else actually did their fair bit too. Like Elizabeth in this season has been really really great as Gemma. She's been kind of like fighting for like the strength of Shield and fighting to actually keep Fitz in line this entire season too. So she's been great. Elizabeth has been phenomenal, nothing short of phenomenal this season, as she always is. Like Elizabeth is always great. Elizabeth is always great as Gemma. Just as Ian is always great as Fitz is too. It's just like they're both great. They're both equally just faultless and flawless within their character displays and within their acting and within their storytelling talents and everything. So it's just great watching them actually work together and watching them work apart too and stuff. It's just been so great, just so great. But I think what's also commendable is the fact that I feel like almost any other show or almost any other property would it would probably be seen as more of a risk for anyone else. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has actually proved that they can actually handle heavier character themes and heavier character elements and heavier story elements in the past, and they've proved that even with restrictions and even with things changing on them all the time, they can still make some really smashing stuff. So with this one, with season 4, I believe they really took a risk with handling 3 different arcs, and they really took a risk actually connecting those 3 arcs together and actually having them lead flawlessly and fluidly from one ending to another and everything. So I think because of that, like, they took a risk with season 4. I feel like I mean, a risk that they knew they wanted to take, a risk that they knew how to handle it, like a risk in the sense that, okay, when I can talk again, when I can talk properly, I can say it. They took a risk that they knew how to handle because they had a plan for it. So they knew they wanted to do Ghost Rider, they knew they wanted to do the LMDs, and they knew that they wanted to do the framework. So because of that, they knew that they could handle it because they had a plan for it. They kind of like, they had like storyboards and everything for it. They knew what characters were going to be involved and how they were going to be involved and exactly what to do. And then they gave the actors exactly the right kind of material to work with. And so because of that, it actually worked really well, and it actually kind of like, it got executed and displayed in the episodes like flawlessly, and it actually got executed in really, really entertaining and really engaging and really kind of, you know, dramatic and authentic kind of ways. So because of that, I think that's exactly what makes the season work really well too. Like the fact that they actually keep everything going in a really, really steady. Like sometimes a fast pace, like the pacing in this season also actually works really well too. Like when it needs to be fast paced, it's fast paced. When it needs to be slower and more kind of thorough and more explorative, it actually works really well in that sense. But then when it needs to be more fast paced and more dramatic and more kind of high stakes intense, it absolutely, you know, jumps into that kind of foray really, really well. So that kind of really works. So yeah, like everything they do in this season works really well, and it can seem like a lot going in, I feel, but then by the time you get to the end, you realize, that actually like that all connected really well. It actually made like so much sense, and actually worked really well, and they all worked really well together, and it really kind of made you appreciate the season even more. Like, and I think without a doubt, if I actually go back, like when I go back into the season in my rewatch, I will undoubtedly find out a lot more things and discover a lot more kind of different Easter eggs or tidbits or details that I definitely didn't catch the first time around. So this show, I think, you know, at least once you get to season 2 or 3, well, I think I feel like by the time you get to season 2 and 3, one thing you will definitely know that this show has the most undeniable and most exquisite rewatch value. This show has exquisite rewatch value. So I will definitely be doing a rewatch of this. So probably not on the channel, but I will definitely be doing a rewatch of the show once I have completed it through to its very end. So yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, I think again, it's like I said, I think you know what I really should have done when I had thoughts as the episodes went, when I had those thoughts of like you know, of different aspects, different points from previous episodes that I thought would actually add really well for the finale of the show. I really should have written them down. I really should have actually written those down. I should kept them in like a separate notebook somewhere of like, oh, for like finale thoughts for the finale review. Because then now I'm definitely thinking, oh, like there are really other cool details I actually like, picked up on earlier in the season that would have been great for now, but now I can't remember them because I didn't write them down. So yeah, But I think I've covered all my base. I feel like I've covered all my bases. I've been recording for 3 hours now, so I feel like I've actually covered most, if not all of my bases, and I've gushed and celebrated and promoted and reviewed the hell out of season 4. I feel like I have, but you know, on the off chance that I haven't, if there are any points that I've missed out on, and any points that I've missed out on, and or more importantly, any points that you, as a viewer, would like to talk about in regards to season 4, then absolutely feel free to share them in the comments. The comments are open for a reason, so I absolutely love to read your thoughts about this season in the comments below, and see what your thoughts are on the finale and on the season as a whole, like what you loved and what you enjoyed and what you're looking forward to and all those kind of things. But for now, as of right now, this is all I can really think of on the spot, and these are all my initial thoughts. So you know. I would definitely be reading and responding to comments in the comments and seeing what you all think. And further discussion will take place down there. So make sure you leave all your pennies and dimes and thoughts and whatever. But yeah, that is pretty much all I can think of for now. So yeah, that was not only Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 22, but that was also Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4 as a whole. So yeah, that has been one hell of a journey, and I am nothing but grateful and happy and ecstatic and overjoyed that I got to experience it at all, let alone experience it with you guys, wherever you are in the world, and however you're watching this, if it's on a tablet or a phone or computer or whatever. I am nothing but happy that I got to experience it with you all for the first time as well. So on to Season 5. Season 5 will be coming soon. Season 5 reactions will be coming soon, so I can't wait to start those and see how the story continues. But yeah, that is pretty much it for now. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, and what your theories are, and any kind of thoughts you have on what Season 4 was like, and what you enjoyed in Season 4 and stuff, and what you hope to see soon. And once again, the full-length reaction for the episode will be available on Patreon, so you can go and check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you next time.